Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Now, on to today's story. Peter Pan stepped out on Wendy to F Tiger Lily, bear with me. Story. Wish I could make this sh up. That it was some sort of bad joke. Guess my life's been a joke for the last 6 years, but I fully do take major responsibility for it. Call it trauma, call it being naive, how I even cope most days. So after find out about the infidelity 6 months or so ago, I have tried to cope and research and try to figure out the never-ending why of things. There's a baby in between us, so we both ended up in IC. We started reconciliation almost 3 months post D-Day because he wouldn't show his sorry ass face after pretty much kicking me out for finding everything out. Even after that he trickle-truthed, and wasn't till I reached out to AP the second time I got the full extent of things. Anyway, the last 6 months have been steady. Reconciling was going okay, except for the fact that I finally have come to the conclusion that this person will never be close to being a man, let alone a man of integrity and honesty. For 6 years I dated a Peter Pan who is afraid to grow up, and when dealt with consequences, he blames everything and everyone but his damn self and actions. I can't make this sh up, truthfully, but AP's Instagram name was none other than Tiger Lily, smiley face, who, by the way, was promising a world of fun and adventure to him. Lol. Like I said, can't make this sh up y'all. As I have come up to find out, this poor excuse of a man clearly suffers from Peter Pan syndrome, I can't help but to find it extremely insanely hilarious. Mind you all, as Wendy, I have taken care of this person financially in the past. When his affair was going on, I was paying for his car so he could go FAP while I was home tending to our 4-month-old. Long story short, I've made the decision to get out from under him for good. I've tried to understand, but I don't intend to change anybody who's stuck in a teenage mentality. Maybe I needed growing up to do. F27, he's 29. The past months he also seems to be aging pretty quickly. Part of his youth has been taken by the stress he brought on himself through this situation. He's gotten so many grey hairs, and truth be told, I don't find him that attractive anymore. When we met we were both fit and youthful looking. I have lost some spark, but I'm petite and I still run and love to work out. I love to work and provide for myself, and I'm a damn good mother because I enjoy it so much. He can only go so far with the way he views things and blames the world for his shortcomings. I didn't mean to rant. I'll forever grieve the loss of dreams sold to me on a pile of false pretenses, though. I don't wish this pain on anyone. Thanks for reading. Congratulations on coming to terms fairly quickly on not staying with a cheater. It's sad to think about the wasted time. But at least it wasn't 10+ years. Thank you, folded hands. After many years of life, these are my observations. Needy people marry those that need to be needed. I am sure there is a more qualifying psychological definition. Just be more choosy, cause you are likely to marry another millstone. I am glad to see you have made a positive decision for you and your baby. You don't deserve this pain and betrayal, and I know you will have a better life. Hang in there and stay the course. Very sorry. If it helps, many of us have been through this. So remember, you are not alone and have friends here. Do not blame yourself for his actions or his pretense. You were duped because you are a good and honest, loving person. This in no way reflects on you. And you will get over the betrayal, but never blame or torture yourself for his failures. He does not love you, respect you, or see you as anything other than a fallback position while he goes out and has his fun. Plus, if you stay, your kid is going to grow up with a lot of issues because of him. Sooner or later you will divorce him. Doing it now minimizes the pain and avoid the years you will have to regret not doing it. Again, so sorry, and post here if you need to talk. Lots of hugs, smile. Over after 25 years, advice long thread, lots of twists and turns. We met when I was 22, they were 20. We both grew up with mentally abusive fathers. After a few dates we immediately moved in together at their mother's house. The first year was a lot of them trying to control me, making fun of me, scolding me, etc. During that time they had made out with another person at a bar we were at. They fooled around with someone when I had fallen asleep. I don't like being told what to do, so I would fire back verbally and be very sarcastic as well. The second year we moved across country together into an apartment while they went to college, and I got a full-time job and a part-time job. One night I woke up and heard them on the phone with someone of the opposite sex talking sexual. We adopted dogs together and created a little family. After graduation we moved back in with their mother. My own mother passed away of cancer after a long year of deteriorating, and it messed me up, them being so young and me being an only child. We then moved into our own place with our dogs. A year later my father suddenly passed. Later on my dog suddenly passed. I had a full-time job with many hours, they had a night-time job. They started staying out until 4 to 5 a.m. every few nights. When I would call them it would mostly go unanswered, and I was always worried drunk and dead in a ditch. The few times answered it was F off, leave me alone. One day I noticed ATM receipts that didn't make sense for time and location, and when confronted they revealed to me they had been hooking up with co-workers. The one that really broke me was a person they met online and went out with for a few dates, and I found out they brought that person over to our home with our dogs while I was sleeping. That is what broke me the most, was what if they were better looking, funnier, more successful, smarter, better shape, got along with them better than I did? I would have been dumped after nearly a decade of living together, of doing nothing wrong and being mentally abused. I had no one else in my life, and I immediately forgave them because I still loved them. Several months later the 5 a.m. nights began again. I didn't know if there was cheating going on again or not, and I didn't care because I assumed so, as the mental bullying was still going on and being told to stop FING calling. So I made the mistake of starting to cheat as well. All one-night stands. Neither of us ever had an affair and fell in love with anyone else. I became addicted to pursuing the opposite sex and assumed they were cheating as well. We then got married. We then moved into a house. I caught them cheating again, once with a friend, another with someone they lent money to, another with someone they saw several times and even brought over to our house while I was home, which I found to be a big slap in the face, but I was a piece of crap as well. Their mother got really sick and it destroyed them. After cheating for a decade I was found out as well, and it broke them. I immediately realized the foolish mistake I made and quit cold turkey, and it has been my biggest mistake I ever made other than being cheated on. They have never forgiven me and don't care that they created the monster that I became. I don't blame them because what I did is unforgivable, but I still love them and want forgiveness, but they feel, since I don't remember every little detail, that I am keeping lies from them. 5 years later they now was a divorce and make it final. I don't want one. I know if they never cheated that I never would have either. That it could have been blissful. We have so much in common. I am a romantic and want to fix this, but so much damage done. They won't go to counseling. I don't know how to handle this because I am still angry how this all started, and I hate myself for becoming a cheating piece of crap. I'm just lost. A love story. But he is not part of it, lol. You are lost indeed if after all that you want to stay and try to fix it. That will never happen. Good luck with that. Cheating isn't a mistake. It's a series of selfish decisions that prioritize your ego over both your relationship and your partner's self-esteem. Anyone who calls cheating a mistake should not be in a relationship. Yeah, cheating is not a mistake, it's choice. This, pointing finger. Very much this. I really hate the term mistake when cheaters try to minimize their damage. It's like they are purposely trying to live in that fog with no means of rejoining society. Yep, cooking something and grabbing onion powder instead of garlic powder is a mistake. Cheating takes several decisions, and each time the cheater chooses to be selfish. At some point you have to ask yourself, what is the point? Your relationship was a huge mistake from the start. The other person was mentally abusive and you just continued to take it. I don't believe you love them. I believe you are dependent on the foundation of the mess you're in. You never should have married someone who gave you nothing in the relationship but abuse. It's like you get off on the pain she inflicts on you. This person has no respect for you whatsoever. I find their hypocrisy about getting cheated on amazing. I'm not saying you cheating on them was correct. But the bloody nerve of that person to take offense, woman facepalming, wow. Just wow. Divorce, get into counseling for yourself. Don't stay with someone who thinks so little of you. Find someone who will love and respect you. Who knows how to be faithful. And I pray you don't cheat on your next relationship. No one deserves that pain. And for Pete's sake, open your own account and put your money into it. Stop supporting this person. Cancel any joint credit cards. Take half of any joint accounts. Before they wipe you out and put you in major debt. This should have been the first time this person cheated on you. The thing that sucks is 75% to 90% of the time it was amazing, happy, good memories, 25 years of good memories. I'm willing to forgive and forget and move forward and not repeat the same mistakes. I just wish she could as well. But they aren't, dude, let them go. You are toxic for each other. They have repeatedly treated you like crap. They have repeatedly cheated on you. Till you got to the point of doing the same. Then they have the nerve to be angry with you doing what they did for years to you. Let go of this extremely toxic relationship. Get counseling for yourself. Stop being codependent for each other, it's not healthy at all. Or a doormat still doing the pick-me dance. It seemed as if you had an open relationship, as that's the way your partner treated it. They just cried foul once they learned it was open both ways. You should know by now, two wrongs don't make a right. What done is done, you are both shitty. Doesn't matter who caused it, who started it. All you know now is you got to live life right for you. Stop blaming, feeling sorry for yourself or anyone else. Remove the toxicity, them and in you, mentally. If they can't live right, so be it, do it for you. Don't be your own worst enemy, okay? An end is also a star. Half the battle is won when you are mentally prepared. Take care and good luck. Who the F ___ is they? Let me guess, English your first language? It's not mine's. Trying to keep genders out of it so people don't assume. Keeping genders out of a relationship story completely robs us of the ability to understand the situation. It's simply true that males and females have different contexts for situations like this. And also, for all we know, you may both be male or both be female. Using they to talk about your own relationship experience is one of those misguided things that come from overthinking it. If you want feedback and advice, you can't try to control the response that way. Give us details and a concrete sense of what's going on. Who's in this story? What genders, what ages? Sounds like they are two people. And who are they married to? IT and they soft. Ages are listed, female cheated, male cheated. And which is the storyteller? M or F? I am not aiming at any kind of sexist stereotyping. But we live in a world where different genders have different expectations and standards. That needs to end, but it hasn't yet, and so the story is different depending on which person is which. Or they're both F or both M. In fact, I suspect the storyteller is an F who is trying to avoid the kind of extra judgmental attitudes some aim exclusively at women in these stories, e.g. I am in another thread where the idea is that women cheat more by nature, even though most surveys or polls asking about infidelity in modern American life do not back that claim. So I understand where the silence on that comes from. Either way, the reality right now is, you're in a different situation with stories like this depending on gender. That doesn't come from male or female nature, it comes from the way our social world works right now. And that has a big influence on how things work in cases like this. I thought storyteller was female too, until the part of the ops partner getting mad for not remembering every single little detail. As a female, I wanted every single little detail and link that to a female trait, but males prob are same way too. And op going for one night stands also made me feel like op is male and his partner is female. Either way, this is a super toxic couple. Being raised in a toxic environment, their idea of love is toxic. They feel deserving of shitty behavior, and without professional intervention or healthy influences of people around them, op will endure punishment due to their feelings of guilt, and op partner will continue to cheat and find expendable validation when it comes. Only now they will use op's cheating as a rational excuse to continue cheating. I doubt op can leave due to the master manipulator they are with, who I bet can cry and put on a show and deliver every line op wants to hear. Unless these people can fully understand their traumas, they are destined to be stuck with each other because they don't know how to live without each other. They've lived longer together than on their own. Sounds plausible. Storyteller male. Thanks for clearing that up. I guessed wrong. Ages are listed: female cheated, male cheated. You clarified it above when you said the storyteller, you, are male and that the other person in the relationship was female. Plus now we also know it's not male/male or female/female. Well, it's silly. I don't know what you are looking for. Your relationship/marriage was a toxic mess. Long past time to put it out of its misery. What was their reaction after you got caught? They did the same thing as you right in front of your face. Seems like they never loved you. And using your cheating as way to get away from you. Check r/us and after infidelity sub. To add, I would tell them the same thing by the way. But even more harsh because of not just their cheating, but they were extremely abusive as well. Them being such a hypocrite to be so harsh on you for doing what they had been for years. You both put each other's health at risk. You're both cheaters and you both need counseling. You both should move on. Let go, let go, let go. They should get out of the relationship. They did wrong. It's crazy, isn't it? Rant. Isn't it crazy? You could sit up with her all night, have long in-depth conversations about how you loathe cheaters and hell, even bond over it, but she'll still cheat. You could reiterate time and again how that betrayal is a deal breaker for you, and that she should let you know if she thinks it's over. Instead of cheating on you, she'll swear up and down that it would never happen, but she'll still cheat on you. She could be the most emotionally intelligent person you've met, demonstrating empathy and kindness that knows no bounds, but she'll still cheat. It could be a few weeks from now, or even worse, 28 years from now, she'll still do it. You'll be convinced that she's possessed by some demon for throwing away decades of a loving relationship for cheap thrills, that it could never be the person you've built a life with, and see her carry out this devious betrayal through to divorce with you still in disbelief. It's crazy that it's an almost inevitable eventuality. It seems that maybe humanity isn't as monogamous as we'd thought, except for us, the few Neanderthals who know how crushing that betrayal is, and would never make the choice to put someone through that. It's crazy that there's always a perceivably greener pasture, or some guy who will one day tell her everything she wants to hear, and she'll listen, just because of a chase of excitement or an escape from a rough patch. It seems as though, if you want romantic love, you have to accept that brutal eventuality as the norm, or at least be willing to bend your principles and rug sweep it. The norm of indefinitely shattered trust. I could never imagine myself living like that. Looking at the person you love, and not feeling lucky at all, just exhausted from the mental gymnastics you have to make each second to not be in utter disgust at their sight. I could never subject myself to that life. It just isn't in me. The worst part is that they never want to let you go. She'll swear up and down that you're the only one she wants, cry and beg, but the reality is that she's demonstrated your deficiency to her by allowing herself to do this to you. You're not enough for her. And she'll still have the gall to ask you to forgive this, to look the purity and innocence of your love flushing away before your own eyes, to look at the light-hearted moments between two people in love just being ripped away from you, and she'll ask you to make it work, make that torture chamber work. The audacity. No person in love with the other could give themselves permission to do this. It's impossible. You may be attached to your partner, but you're definitely not in love with them. You just feel the guilt and moral inferiority that makes you see all the good features about your partner, and from that you convince yourself that you're in love with them. But you're not. If you were, you could never do that to them, you could never even compartmentalize such a betrayal. The worst part is that even though I rationally know that it's not my fault to be cheated on, that it's fully theirs, my self-worth and love will still go down the drain, even if I knew I was everything I could be, because we're more of emotional apes than logical. It's crazy, isn't it? This is the same train of thought I run through at 3 a.m. when I can't sleep, trying to make sense of all of this mess. My conclusion after many months/years of these types of musings. Love sucks. Pain is inevitable, you can't protect yourself from it. I will never understand people. All humans are selfish to varying degrees, so I just need to act accordingly. Wishing you healing smile. Everything you've said is true. It's just hard to deal with and accept the uncertainty, because I've just recently built and still am building a foundational self-esteem, so I can't imagine putting that at risk with my eyes open, just to have to rebuild again. But thank you. I hope you're well on your journey of healing as well. Smile. Yeah, I hate uncertainty too, I'm just learning to embrace it though, as it's inevitable. I think the key is to never attach your self-esteem to another person, or relationship, again. That weight is never at risk. It's always a work in progress, but I'm sure you'll get there. That's really solid advice, thank you for that. I hope with time it gets easier to embrace. There's a science guy, it's absolutely dreadful, but a part of us still, ha. All the best with your journey. Agreed, with one difference, it was men who did this to me. Every relationship. I'm sorry you went through that, it's gut-wrenchingly painful. How about a dose of reality? She's blowing smoke up your ass. Start there and give up your Pollyanna views of her, and you can begin to recover your own life before she utterly destroys you. Get her completely out of your life. I am so sorry you are going through this. I can tell you that as a human being I genuinely sympathize with you. I just found out 2 weeks ago that my husband has done the same thing. I am in a fog and the only thing I can see right now is the pain. I know one day it won't define me, but at the moment I am in so much pain. He said all the things to me your significant other said to you about never cheating, that if things were ever that bad he would come to me with honesty and never go down that road of betrayal. But for whatever reason, it didn't happen that way, and my husband carried on an affair for a year whilst telling me he loved me and couldn't imagine a life without me. Here's a link to something I posted the other day to try and feel better. Look, I don't know your circumstances, but I can relate to your pain, and all I can offer is, you're not alone. I know that doesn't heal you, and from what people are telling me, this pain won't always be there. I am trying to work through this with my husband, who is now telling me he doesn't know what he wants. But I am trying, giving it my all. That may not be appropriate in your scenario, but know that we are all human, and whatever way you choose to move forward has to be what feels right for you. I for one wish you nothing but strength to handle this in a way that is true to your better self in the future. I'm so sorry to hear this. I will say this, always be on your own side. Your mind might be a mess right now, thinking of all the things you could have done better, trying to puzzle together how you weren't enough for him. That's your emotional mind at work. Something like this could never be your fault. Internalize this, breathe this in. Be kind with yourself, be mindful of where your train of thought takes you. I recommend journaling, and understand that you're not alone either. There are others going through the pain and loss you're going through. All things considered, never allow yourself to settle for the shell of what you had. Know that you don't deserve to piece together the shreds of broken glass that he's responsible for. Know that you deserve better. You don't have to be fine overnight. Be with your feelings of grief, allow yourself to hurt, to cry over the loss of the purity and innocence of your love. To be angry over the disrespect you've been shown by him. It's funny in a gut-wrenching way that he made the promise to not hurt you like this, to not go down that route, but they always do. It's not in your control, only in theirs. Blessings to you, and I hope you come out of the other side stronger. Strength. The problem is that true morals, ethics, and ideals are rare in the human race in general. Just look at the state of the world. That's true. I just wish those of us who try, didn't have to break bread and settle with those who couldn't be bothered. But here we are. It is very common to get cheated on these days. The problem is how you handle it. Do not make your partner the center of your universe. This is what makes the betrayal so hard. Your partner is there to complement your life, something you are building for yourself. If she cannot contribute or betrays you, then this does not change your life, focus and goals, which is what you really are. Your goals, aspirations, respect, honesty and deeds cannot be tainted by your partner's actions. Always look after yourself first and know your worth. It does not depend on your partner or anyone else. Set the boundaries for any relationship, and if they are broken, then take the appropriate action. Do not engage cheaters once you know what they are. Their actions should not dictate how you are living your life or what you are willing to put up with. I couldn't have said it better myself. Pretty solid outlook, thanks. You got this. Stay strong. There is no study of infidelity that states all people cheat. In fact, from what I have read, the percentages are small. I might add that men cheat at a slightly higher rate than women. I don't think I said anything about studying. What I wrote, I pull from my own experiences, the social media climate, the entertainment that glorifies it, etc. About the percentages, participating in studies or statistics means cheaters would have to take accountability, which they rarely do, or those cheated on would have to face embarrassment with participation, which not a lot of folks would do. So stats on this matter, I don't believe reflect reality. Maybe you're using filed divorce papers on infidelity grounds as your reference, but still. On the men cheat more than women front, I think I might agree with that. But take into account emotional affairs and I'm not so sure. Cheers. I'm confused by this. I don't know what the excuse is for cheaters not in a DB. So I have no answer. I think your train of thought is selfish to a nauseating degree. I'd rather risk cheating than break up with him to find someone else who I won't love the same. Good God, do you even hear yourself? Also, you mentioned platonic marriage. There should be no such thing, it's unhealthy. I think what you described is more attachment than romantic love. I am trying any and all things to reignite our bedroom, not making it his problem to solve, and keep getting rejected. Here you find the problem, communication. Sit down with your partner, bare your naked soul, and explain how this aspect of your relationship is significant to you and how it won't work if it's not tended to. Rationalizing cheating instead of this means you're a fundamentally selfish person and you should not be in any relationship. Because cheating will do more damage than good. Nowhere in this have you talked about its impact on the other person you claim to love, his mental well-being and physical well-being, STDs. His trust and his confidence, when he finds out about your rendezvous, forever altered. Cheers. I didn't write my whole life story here, this isn't my post, but you've made quite a few invalid assumptions in my case, that I want to address. I've tried communicating with him. I've tried just listening. I've been patient, kind, warm, friendly, open, honest. He won't talk about it. He is shut down. If you have a way to solve that, then I'm all ears, truly. Platonic marriage isn't healthy, I agree with you. If you'd like to convince my so of the same, that would be grand. I'm selfish to a nauseating degree, okay maybe. How many years should I go without sex, intimate touch or anything more than a peck before bed without wanting more? 3, 4, 99? Yes, agree, I have bared my soul. Have cried. Have held him and told him I love him, but this is breaking us. He doesn't want me to leave, he doesn't want to talk about it, he isn't trying to do anything to fix it. He knows what is at risk, our relationship. He has asked me to back off. I have. Now what? I am glad you are in a healthy, high-functioning relationship. Truly. Not all of us are as fortunate. And yes, I'm attached to my husband. Also, STDs are a thing. If you are having unprotected sex with multiple random people, then taking it home to someone else who is doing something more than giving you a peck goodnight for 2 years. None of that does, or would, apply to me. You also know what's at risk, but you do it anyway. You say you can't live without him, so tell him you're cheating, and see how it works out. You can't say you can't live without him, yet keep something that might make you live without him. Just like he can't keep withholding physical touch from you, and not expecting you to find it elsewhere. Don't you recognize you're doing the exact same thing he is? And you rationalize just like he does. Does that make both of you right, or both of you wrong? I would never validate what you want to do. It's wrong, immoral, indecent, scum, the whole lot. And having premeditations and intentions to do it means you're a fundamentally bad person, and that's okay. But don't do mental gymnastics, expecting it to be validated here. From what you've written, it honestly sounds like he wants you to leave him. Actions matter, words, not so much in this context. So my recommendation would be to do just that. Leave him. It's either he wants you to, or he's seeing someone else. Give him divorce papers with full intention. Maybe he'll snap out of it, maybe he won't. Be prepared to choose yourself at any outcome. But the cheating thingy, I will never say you're justified for it, because you're not and will never be. You'd be cruel and disgusting to do it, but you do you, I guess. I can assure you that you will lose everything when he finds out, and you'll be the most revolting thing in the world to him, the man you claim to love. The best I can give you is to just leave. He's not holding a gun to your head, is he? All he says when he begs is just that, words. Words that have no meaning. His actions tell you he doesn't want you as his wife. That's all I have to say. Cheers. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please comment, like and subscribe. Cheers. Have a wonderful day or night. Wherever you are.